Gambia launches report documentary on prison service conditions. 38 staff deployed in hospitals countrywide for mass COVID-19 vaccination. And the Brikama Magistrate Court dismisses Sanyang riot case due to lack of mandate to try suspects. This and more coming on Gambia 24. Good evening, you're watching Gambia 24 News with me, Mariama Cham, and thanks for joining us. The Ministry of Interior, in partnership with the UNDP on Wednesday, launched a report and documentary on Gambia's prison service conditions. The findings are geared towards supporting Gambia's efforts to reform the prison systems. The brief documentary, accompanied with a report, showed the poor structural conditions of uncomfortable living standards of inmates in the Mile 2 Central Prison. More details of that in this report.
The Gambia's prison system has suffered years of neglect and underinvestment. Conditions of detention are said to be poor at the remand wing of Mile 2. The poor structural conditions of the prison has never been renovated, with its dilapidated conditions until the coming of the new government, with officials and prisoners see changes during revolutions at the TRRC. The report, photo book, and a brief documentary is meant to add substance to the prison service reforms. Yankuba Sonko, Minister of Interior, says there is an opportunity to commit to the reforming of the Gambia's prisons. Minister Sonko adds that there is a need to change the prison service so as to cater for the needs of the inmates, especially the juvenile.
With thanks to the UNDP Rule of Law project, we have a clear assessment of needs, priorities. Since 2016, there has been discussion and advocacy for the new prisons. This would be an important step towards severing legacy of prison service from the previous regime. It has been advocated by civil society, human rights groups, and DCI. We have an opportunity to change our prison facility to accommodate the needs of inmates. Juveniles in detention need very different care and attention than adult inmates.
However, Ansumana Mane, the Director General of the Gambia Prison Service, says the conditions of the prisons have improved since the inception of the current government. DG Mane also explains the improved conditions of the prison, especially the feeding of inmates.
In spite of the less resources, we have been able to make certain changes relating to prisons diet, which has been the subject of much criticism, especially at the TRRC, and also changes in visitation rights. Also, with support from the government of the Gambia and the UNDP together with the GCCI, we have also upgraded the Mile 2 Central Kitchen to be with new modern facilities, with support from the United Nations, UNODC. Nevertheless, we still need to do more to address the structural conditions of the prisons.
Mile 2 was built by the British colonialists in 1920 in a swampy area infested with mosquitoes and mangroves. Situated along the Banjul Highway, the prison has 3 areas: security wing, main yard, and remand wing. The security wing is partitioned from the central prison's main yard by a thick wall of about 4 meters tall with a thick black metal door. During his 22-year rule, former President Yahya Jammeh was known for swearing in public and threatening his fellow citizens. One of his favorite threats was, "I will send you to my 5-star hotel." This was his euphemism for Mile 2, a prison. Reporting for iAfrica News, this is Mariama Cham.
Report set to strengthen Gambia prison service reforms. Now, the Ministry of Health, in its latest press briefing on Wednesday, says they have deployed 38 staff in hospitals across the country for the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination. Since the inception of the vaccine into the country, Gambia's health ministry has been sensitizing citizens about the effectiveness of the vaccine. Naisisa reports.
The briefing is aimed at clearing the air about the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination. as many people in the country have little idea about the vaccination and where to take the jab. The program manager on expanding program on immunization, Siddharth Fofana, says the vaccine has been distributed across all 7 regions in the Gambia for those eligible to receive the jab.
We distributed the vaccines last Monday. The training took place over the weekend of health workers that will do the vaccination for both rounds. So yesterday they were busy trying to sort out their teams, but as I'm talking to you, a lot of teams have been distributed. They've already started vaccination. If you go to FSTH, Carnifing General Hospital, Seaside Regional Eye Care Center, Bursubi, Serakunda, Burfoot, Banjulunding Health Center, Bakau Health Center, Fajikunda, Ahmed Clinic, Bundung, Afrimed. So you have close to 10 vaccination sites or even more today where these people I've mentioned can go and receive their vaccines.
As health officials continue highlighting the effectiveness and efficacy of the vaccine, the National COVID-19 Response Coordinator, Yaya Sanyang, says all those who took the jab suffered no side effects from the vaccine.
3 simple messages we should be all try to push out to the communities now. One is the vaccination is one of the best tools we have to try to combat this disease. This vaccine is in addition to the basic preventive measures we are all doing. It's not a magic bullet, but it's one of the best tools we have in addition to the basic preventive measures of hand washing, of wearing a mask, and actually distancing yourself from other people. I think that message should go out to everybody on a repeated way, that COVID is still real in the Gambia. The best way to prevent yourself is to have the basic preventive measures I've mentioned, but also go at the vaccine.
The rollout of vaccines in Africa is slow. As a result, the chances of vaccinating 60% of the population might be pushed to next year. In the Gambia, the government intends to vaccinate priority groups such as healthcare workers, the elderly, and those with complicated illnesses. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Daisy.
Deployed across the country for the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination process. Now, the Select Committee on Education, Training and ICT presented reports on the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority Bill before lawmakers on Tuesday. The bill was first moved by the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology in November 2020. Alajimbo tabled the NACA bill, which highlights 50% Gambia ownership, share of private institutions and financial viability of institutions before they are allowed to operate, among others. Omar Ahmed Toure tells us more.
The member for Central Badibu, Suleiman Saho, describes education as the base for meaningful development and believes the bill will improve standards in education and stops the exorbitance in it.
We want education to be of quality, an education that citizens can benefit from, an education that will promote economic growth and sustainable livelihood. Honorable Speaker, institutions should not be established to rob our poor people. In this sense, there are no regulations. Parents will pay high sum of money. At the end of the day, quality is compromised.
Sekumarang of Latikunda Sabeji argues that it is prompt for these reports to be debated upon since notification is too short, adding that longer time is needed to scrutinize the report before a decision is taken.
Please, we should have this report 24 hours. It should be given to the members 24 hours before in the parliament. It's important. But you cannot just drop laws and give us 5-6 reports, debate it, pass it. And then how are we doing this? We are all in a haste to do these things. You will just on 1-2 pages. Who will tell me that you understand from the first page to the last page that the committee just report to us? No. And this is not the only report that is given to us. There is another report given to us. We're going to debate on them and pass it. I don't really think that.
Usman Silla of Banjul North suggests for the quality assurance body to also monitor the audit reports of tertiary institutions.
That it is important for NACA to also know how those institutions are managed, so we can as a requirement for all these institutions to be providing to NACA their annual audited accounts. Just for them to be in the know, since they are talking about, well, their task is to regulate the operations of these institutions.
The National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority is responsible for the registration and licensing of all skills training centers and higher educational institutions in the country. Parts of its mandate include vetting training programs offered at any post-secondary educational institutions. For iAfrica TV, I am Omar Ahmad Toure.
NACA table built before parliamentarians. Now, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Dawda Jallow on Monday submitted the Election Bill 2021 before the National Assembly members for the first reading. For the past few years, electoral reforms have been a topic for national discussion. Critics say the current law don't create a conducive environment for free, fair and transparent elections. We have more in this report by Binta Fati.
Honorable members, in accordance with clause 65 of the standing orders, only the first reading of the Elections Bill 2021 will be done today. Therefore, I will now invite the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the person in charge of the bill, a copy of the said bill to the Clerk of the National Assembly, who will read aloud the short title, whereupon the bill shall be deemed to have been read first time.
The 2021 election bill seeks to amend the legal framework of the current electoral laws of the Gambia. This includes the registration and voting of diaspora Gambians, among other issues. Electoral reforms have been a topic for national discussions for the past few years. It could be recalled that the violent crackdown and arrest of some opposition members on April 14, 2016 were a result of their protests for electoral reforms. This led to the death of Ibrahim Solo Sending, the National Organizing Secretary of the opposition United Democratic Party, and the beating of several members of the party. Meanwhile, the Attorney General is expected to move the motion on Monday, the 29th of March 2021, for the second reading of the Election Bill 2021, in accordance with the Standing Order 62 of the National Assembly. Reporting for iAfrica TV News, I am Binta Fati.
That report by Binta Fati on election bill will take us to a quick break, and we'll be right back with the rest of the news. Stay with us.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put in to constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
Welcome back, and still with the news. Barely a day after the police issued a statement on the Sanyang violent protests, some of the arrested youths were taken to Brikama Magistrate Court on Wednesday. According to our sources, the case was dismissed by the court due to lack of mandate for the police to prosecute the arrested suspects. Binta Jallow tells us more.
This comes a week following a violent protest in Sanyang village, where angry mobs struck by the death of a native of the village burnt down Sanyang police station, a fish meal factory, and stores built on the Sanyang beach. Few days later, the police opened an investigation into the riot. According to the statement issued by the police, 50 individuals were arrested during the course of the investigations, 22 of whom have been charged with offences under the criminal code. The statement indicated that cash amount of about $8 million and 1,500,000 CFA was suspected to have been looted from the Nassim fish meal processing company and individuals' residence. The Chinese fish meal plant was accused of causing environmental pollution and overfishing. The release said an additional 4 motor vehicles, including 2 pickups and 2 mini trucks, were also burnt down. Furthermore, homes of 5 individuals within the village were attacked and their compounds and properties vandalized. A mobile shop was broken into and items estimated at $250,000 were all looted. Some of the families of the arrested suspect told iAfrica TV that they are aware that some of the destructions were undone, but hastened to say the boys acted out of anger. According to them, the youth were arraigned in court again on Wednesday, but were dismissed by the Brikama Magistrate Court due to the police lax mandate to prosecute the case. Meanwhile, the boys are taken to the anti-crime unit in Bijilo today and will continue helping police with investigations. However, Ganassi, the Senegalese national who is accused of murdering Jibril Cisse, has been arraigned before the court and subsequently remanded under custody at the Central Prison. For iAfrica News, Binta Jallo.
Brikama Magistrates Court rejects case of the arrested youth on Sanyang riot, citing lack of mandate to proceed with the case. Now, a former police officer, Omar Sedikan, on Tuesday confessed to have buried 2 dead bodies that were found in Ghana Town in July 2005. The witness said they were informed by residents of Ghana Town that they found dead bodies around the seaside. The corpses were said to have been part of the migrants' killing under the orders of former President Yahya Jammeh. Details of that in this report.
Three bodies. Then after we got like ground looking around, we found extra 5 bodies. In total was 8 bodies we saw there.
Ko follow lato nga fure sabaleje yo bitun kontententa jibero la kadulani murumurun nata fure lulu fananje me yalon ko niya ka furu sabo maketa fure sai.
All right, and tell us the state in which you found them.
Yes, they were dead. It was not an instant death because you can see blood coming from their head, and the bloods were dry. So you can imagine that it's not an instant death, but they're not that dry that you can say it's been a long while.
Akosila, after they buried the 2 dead bodies, they also brought 2 unknown people who were screaming at them, asking not to be killed.
Yes, the local people have brought a gentleman to the station who, when he saw us,
because modo fana sunta me modo fana nati station otoje me yentaraje.
And
yeah, when they brought him, he saw us in uniform. He started shouting, "Don't kill me! Don't kill me! You people killed my colleagues."
Bitum bringa mari futataje. Ayentelu ni uniform oje drong. Ay wuro damuta. Alikanam fa. Atele yente kafunyolu fa. Bara alikanan tefa. Ala kumo keta woleti.
And this person is of what nationality?
It's a Ghanaian.
Ghanaian Kolem.
And he accused you guys of killing pigs, correct?
Yes.
How were you dressed?
That's the black outfit of paramilitary.
The alcalde of Ghana Town, Ismaila Jang, has revealed in his testimony before the TRRC that 8 Ghanaians were massacred in his forest. Another 2 individuals were handed over to the police with consultation of the Ghanaian councillor in the Gambia in April 2005. The migrants, including some 44 Ghanaians and several Nigerians, were arrested in July 2005
and transferred to the Gambia Naval Headquarters in Banjul. Witnesses say the migrants were detained in the presence of the then Inspector General of Police, the Director General of National Intelligence Agency, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Commander of the National Guards. At least 2 of them were in close contact with Jammeh during the operation. The head and several members of the paramilitary junglers were also present.
A police officer confessed to burying 2 dead bodies found in Ghana town in 2005. Well, viewers, that's all we have for you in today's edition of Gambia 24. Join us for more news on iAfrica.tv. I am your presenter, Mariama Cham. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
They say we slept in one world and woke up in another. This global tragedy got humans together despite our social distancing.